He who will not live by love must be subdued by fear. This is a quote by William Blake, and it, 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 it is a very beautiful quote, and it's very deep when you understand that there's only love and fear in this world. Anything we do, and we do out of love or fear. So we want something, a desire comes in your mind. This desire is either out of fear and out of love. And when you're trying to manifest something, you are either in fear of your desire or you are in love with your desire. And to manifest anything, all you have to do is move towards the love state, which is the fulfilled state. As Neville Goddard said it many times, that when in doubt, do the loving thing. What is the loving thing? What is a loving thing when it comes to yourself? It is always fulfillment of what you want, right? What is self-love? Self-love is to accept who you are, and then if you understand the higher principles of imagination and your higher self, you realize that self-love is fulfillment of what you want, feeling yourself worthy of everything and then giving it to yourself in your imagination. So this quote says that those who will not live by love must be subdued by fear, because William Blake and Neville Goddard, such saints who have mastered the art of imagination, realize that there are only two things that really truly exist in imagination or in the psyche and psychology of a man, which is love or fear. So when you are in love of something, you don't fear it as much. And when you are truly in fear of something, love is absent. Love and fear are our biggest motivation that drive our life. We want to avoid something, we fear it, so we want to manifest the opposite of it. Or we fall in love with something and we want it in our life to enhance our experience. Now, which is a better state to be in? To be in fear of something or to be in love with something? And the problem with human mind is that the mind is predominantly fear based, because that's needed for survival, right? We fear things because we are threatened by things, because if we don't, for example, fear a lion who's about to attack us, we will be killed, right? So fear is a survival mechanism, but psychological fear is unnecessary. Psychological fear is just years and years of indoctrination and programming by society, like making us separate from the universe, the all, which in hermetic philosophy is everything, the all. You are part of the all, which is you are in God, God is within you. But we have been indoctrinated into this separation fear, that we need God is separate from us and he can impose his will upon us and reject our desire. So this is psychological fear, and this psychological fear leaves no room for love. And when you will not live by love, you will be subdued by fear. This is what William Blake meant by this quote, and this is what Neville Goddard meant, that when in doubt. What is doubt? Doubt is just a child of fear. Fear is the umbrella term for doubt. Doubt is also related to fear. So when in doubt, do the loving thing. What is the loving thing? For example, I want to, let's say, I wanted to get money in Russia. I recently made a video that it's practically impossible in many ways to get money in Russia, because right now there are a billion sanctions going on in this country. So now, if I were to be subdued by fear and not live in love for my desire or myself, I would be subdued by fear and I would give up. Like, there is no way. This country is fully sanctioned. How in how the hell would I ever get anything inside the country? Because everything seemed impossible. But since I understand these higher concepts, thanks to Neville Goddard and the Hermeticism, I understand that I'm not a separate being from this country. This country is within the mind of the all. Everything is within God and everything is God. So, if I project in love for my safety, for my abundance, like money is a requirement of life to live a good life. So, if I were to, in love for my desire, just fulfill it within my mind, that is seeing a certain amount of money in the mobile app of my wife, because I don't have account here yet. So I just saw it in her mobile app and I just fulfilled myself in love for my desire. Now, if I were to fear my desire, I would say it's impossible to get money in this country. It's impossible, for example, to, you know, for me to be financially abundant here. So I'm doomed. I need to leave. I need to run away, right? And I need to abandon everything, all my plans here, whatever I want to do, because it's impossible. See, subdued by fear. Fear leaves no room for love. Fear leaves no room for higher intelligence or higher powers or applying a higher spiritual law. Spirit doesn't fear because spirit is beyond fear. But we, the human mind, once is subdued by fear, it sees no way out of it. And so, this is a very simple example. I have a problem, I have a desire. It doesn't even have to be a problem, but I have a desire. And my mind fears that I will not achieve it, while in my spirit, who is in love with this experience, this is an experience of the spirit, knows that it can have the desire. And since me, I understand that he who will not live by love must be subdued by fear, so I just apply love rather than fear of the mind. I reject the fear based thinking of the lower self, the mind, the ego, which is not, which always is in, in the blinders. This is an illusion. So it doesn't know everything. The soul does, God does, but the mind doesn't. So if I were to be subdued by my fear, I would listen to my mind and be out of here. I would be gone, right? Because that's the only way, as you would, if you are here, you would know. But I, I, I accepted the story of my spirit. I accepted the idea of love. When in doubt, do the loving thing. I did the loving thing. I imagined the loving thing in love for myself and my family, my wife here, and that is what happened despite all odds. So this life is nothing but the duality between fear and love. I would say fear is the opposite of love, not even hate. Hate is also fear based. So hate comes under the umbrella of fear, and doubt comes under the umbrella of fear. So the opposite of love, true love, not the love of a person, but true divine love, is fear, because true divine love is God, while fear is human, our lower self. So to do anything in love would be to invoke the higher faculty of the spirit, and that would mean that we would see miracles, and that would be the basis of miracles, right? Anything that is supernatural or something against the odds cannot be done in fear, cannot be achieved by fear and our lower self. So he who will not live by love must be subdued by fear. And so I wanted to make this distinction between love and fear, because looking back at my life, uh, anything that I manifested out of self-love and acceptance of my desire to be mine. How would you accept a desire that is not yet possible with the mind, fear-based? How would you accept? You would accept it out of love, right? That I am worthy, I will get it somehow. Well, somehow is trust. somehow is trust, right? Fear, what is fear? Fear is how, right? How I will get anything, while somehow I will get it is trust, which is love. Again, trust comes under the umbrella of love, divine love. So anything that I have achieved so far uh, in my life, I see it that I did it out of love. When I accepted it out of self-love, like out of thinking that I'm worthy of it, I will get it somehow. I trust my higher self. This is my experience, this is my life, and I have a freedom of choice, and I choose this, right? I will not accept to be subdued by fear. So all of my successes can be just attributed to love, and anything that I couldn't get was because of overwhelming fear. And all I had to do was face my fear head on by realizing that that's the lower mind. That's the man speaking, right? The man has limitations, but not the higher self that is connected to the all, the source, literal source of everything. So I would abandon myself in love for my desire. I would abandon into, you know, the source, and the source will do the rest. While fear would dictate me to take steps, do it by yourself, and how figure it out, and be anxious, be worried, kill myself trying to get it, and then be miserable. So there is only fear and love when it comes to manifestation, and you need to figure out how to invoke the feeling of love for your desire by understanding that your higher self is love. So, all in all, you gotta figure out a way to align with love and let go of fear. And this will do wonders for you. It has done for me. And this makes life more beautiful and more harmonious. The more love you feel within, the more things just fall into your lap and everything starts to work. While the more fearful you are and anxious you are, the more things, you know, remind you of more fear. So meditate more on just the feeling of love and just the feeling of, being connected to something bigger than yourself. And this will invoke more and more trust within you. And you will eventually start to live by love and will not be subdued by fear. This is it for this video. Until next time. Bye.